Peter admonished us for thinking that this story was going to be too much fun. I think we turned out to be right. Although, yes, it sucks anytime somebody gets breached. But today we're going to talk about two pornographic websites, allegedly, that were breached and had user data stolen, and what a problem it is.
Yeah, check it out in today's episode.
Fun Friday story today. We've got John back with us from his adventures abroad.
Yeah, John, it's good to see you, man. I honestly, you kind of freaked me out a little bit there. So just seeing you in your normal gear, I'm happy. I hope that your many quests were successful.
So, very successful, and I can't tell or talk too much about it, obviously.
How convenient.
We'll just leave it at, this is just one part of my life, small part of my life, and there's many other things that I do out there.
Right. Yeah, clearly. Okay. What have we got, Mike?
So this came up in our Discord server, which everybody should join. You can submit articles. We'll talk about fun, cool stuff. I'm getting a lot of heat actually right now from our episode that aired on Friday aired on Thursday about back to work, back to the office. So we'll duke that out if anybody wants to come jump in. But today for our Friday story, just kind of I don't know if you call it a fun story. It's a breach story. Maybe the context is a little fun.
I would not call this a fun story. I think some of these people that were affected by this were very upset, and this is hurt people's lives. There's my email. I mean, these people's emails are out there in the wild now, and this is very not fair. This is all I can say.
Yeah, and I mean it's the context that adds trouble to it. So at any rate, here's the story. Two, I assume these are pornography sites, City Jerks and Trucker Sucker. Were compromised.
Perfectly legitimate websites.
So Troy Hunt, who Peter knows, Have I Been Pwned, told TechCrunch that he analyzed the stolen data and found usernames, email addresses, passwords, profile pictures, sexual orientation, the user's date of birth, their city, state, IP address, and biographies. The stolen passwords are scrambled with a weak algorithm that could potentially be broken. And he says it's really just a typical forum breach, albeit with super sensitive content. And I think maybe that goes to what Peter said. Certainly all these emails have been breached before. But in this case, now they're associated with a specific site that people may not necessarily want to be associated with.
This is what I'm saying. There's real people behind this. Are
you one of those people, Peter?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, but if I was, I would be very upset that my personal information was, had been hacked, breached. And
well, this would be a bigger deal if it was. I think it would be a bigger deal. Sorry, Peter. It would be a bigger deal if it was Tinder, right? Or Bumble, or there's another one I'm forgetting the name of. But there is some comedy to it because the name is Trucker Sucker.
City Jerk. I don't know what the actual themes of those sites are. We could kind of infer from the titles.
Yeah.
Good question. Trucker Sucker is for real men.
True.
City Jerk is for people who are interested in meeting other people, other like-minded, consenting adults in various cities they might be visiting. I mean, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so, they actually do describe in the article what they are, what the sites are about, what their themes are, what the vibes are.
We don't got to cover that, right?
No, it's.
I've done extensive research. I can tell you anything you need to know.
Wait, Peter, what? What did you say? Did you say it sucks?
Oh, come on.
Sorry. It was just right there.
Stop being a jerk.
Hey.
I don't know, man. This is, like you say, it's just another breach. But these kind of things, it's the sort of nightmare scenario that you're on one of these sites. The people keep doing things on the internet that would embarrass themselves, but embarrass them if everybody else found out. And I think the golden rule is don't do anything on the internet ever, anything. I think that maybe just that.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything.
So knowing that porn sites make up a huge amount of traffic across the internet in every location, people are registering for accounts all the time. I feel like that's one place where I'd always be hesitant, because what happens if it gets breached? Now all of a sudden you're volunteering. There was a scene from was it called Weeds? The show about the woman who started selling drugs.
Oh yeah.
And she was talking to she was trying to sell to a group of people who said, "Oh, we're just gonna get buy from the dispensary." And she pointed out, "Well, you have to register to buy from the dispensary. They're gonna know who you are. They'll have your name. It'll be available." And that was the pitch to buy from her. And I guess that always sticks in my mind when I think about registering for anything that could be sketchy like that I don't want. And really anything. I don't even love registering for forums with real information because of that always stuck in my head.
But I thought you were against anonymity.
Oh yeah, no, I totally am. I think anonymity is terrible for the internet.
But you'll still, of course, partake.
Oh, sure. I don't want people to know who I am. Absolutely.
Sure.
Right. As evidenced by me being on YouTube every single day for the past 2 years.
Yeah. Would you like your TikTok history to be public, Mike? I mean, how would you feel about that?
Oh, no, I would hate it. Sure. But
career ending, some would say.
Career ending.
I'm kidding.
But I'd be one of a billion other people who have been on a porn site. So, what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah. It's
just embarrassing,
theoretically.
Super embarrassing. And I could see how this could do you guys remember the Ashley Madison hack?
Oh yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Ashley Madison kind of caused a lot of divorces, right? Because all of a sudden, and the funny thing about Ashley Madison was that it was largely a fake site. I think it was not a lot of cougars were actually on there. So a bunch of men who had signed up seeking to, do stuff.
Oh, really? John, now you're going to tell me locals near you is just a scam also, huh, John?
Well, there's probably some real locals near you looking for a good time, looking for a quick city jerk,
No,
I'm not surrounded by single moms.
Zero. I think actually zero. Not a single one.
I mean, statistically, there has to be one real one, right?
I don't know. I think it's so close to zero. Statistically, it is zero.
Fair. It's fair. We'll round down. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We'll round down. But I think that these forums, it sucks because it's maybe you're into this kind of thing and it's right up your alley. You are a trucker, so you're all over the country. And now you're getting affected because you're a bit promiscuous. I think that's super fucked up. And it sucks that we can't trust, but this is, harsh truth. We can't trust small forum style websites to actually have good security practices.
So fun thing I wanted, did you have something to add to that, Peter? I'm going to change the topic a little bit.
John's right. I was going to say about the people who are actually open about the stuff that they do on the internet. But sorry, you go, Mike.
I was just there was one other interesting thing I noticed in the article is they said in a post advertising the data stolen from Trucker Sucker, the seller claims the database contains information on 8,000 users. In the post about City Jerks, the seller claims the database contains data from 77,000 users. And I just wanted to point out that as a marketer, knowing that Trucker Sucker has a slightly more targeted audience because they're, like John said, real truckers, real men, those, even though there are fewer of those leads, they're probably worth more because they're more targeted. Just a little pull the curtain back behind online marketing. When you're buying leads, it's not just about quantity, it's about the targeting of the leads, because we all know how important behavioral and demographic targeting is.
Do you think there are people actually buying this data to send emails to target people with?
Legitimate businesses or criminals?
Marketers.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe criminals.
Criminal marketers?
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
I can see hackers using it for.
It's not even just that marketers would think of it that way. That's how data is sold. The more accurate the data is, the more targeted the data is, the more valuable the data is going to be, even if the audience is just criminals.
Yeah, that's true. I get those emails all the time saying, "Hi, I've hacked your computer and I have a video of
Sure.
you watching porn or something like that."
Yeah.
I know they're not true because my laptop does not have a camera on it, which is sort of reassuring in a way.
That's how you know they're not true.
That's how you know
Yeah.
they're not true.
Well, I mean,
That was
otherwise,
good.
if they've
That's
nailed
fun.
it, so
Yeah. I mean, you and
yeah.
literally every other guy out there, everyone's gotten those, and then they're like, you can send it. And the crazy thing is, I a couple of years ago, at a prior company, we would get a lot of "we've hacked you," and if you don't want us to breach you, send $1,000 in BTC to this address. And a fun thing that I would do is I'd go look at that Bitcoin address because that's publicly available information, is to see how many transactions have gone through. And holy fuck, there were so many transactions. Like,
Wow.
so many businesses being like, we're screwed. How do I buy Bitcoin? We got to pay this guy. And like, really all it is just a trick, right? Like, they're just tricking you into sending it. There is no data breach. There's no data loss.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to do it if you don't want to go
The
through the
net
effort of
attack,
actually
or whatever
hacking
it's called.
someone.
Dragnet? No, I forget what type of attack it's called.
Scam.
Basically. Spam/scam.
No, I was going to say about the people who do stuff online. So we're saying don't do anything online. I think the end of that is that you wouldn't want people to know otherwise. Like if you wouldn't want public. But so there was an account that followed me the other day on Twitter, and I usually, because I don't have that many people following me on Twitter, I go and click at people's profiles and look at who they are or whatever. And a lot of the times it's spammers and robots. This one person was like all like every single other account that they'd followed was like OnlyFans preview sites, or OnlyFans accounts, and they had posted a few little comments, just sort of like fire emojis to the responses to other ladies on OnlyFans. And I'm not entirely sure why they followed me, but it did. It was like, I don't know. What does that say about you as a?
You don't think they're fans of our After Dark show that it only runs on OnlyFans?
That's probably it. I forgot about that.
Well, maybe they found the YouTube and they like Peter because he's that Peter Lowe. And they also are a consumer of
that Peter Lowe
alternative media, Wow. And now he's
okay.
That Peter.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, I'll probably message them then. See if we get them interested.
I think I actually find so, like, currently the meme of the young generations is that it's like, it's very similar to like this guy's paying for the blue check mark, right? Like. Which is like, this guy's paying for OnlyFans. I think that if you want to support these alternative creators, that's totally fine. Like, do you? It's probably better than consuming alternative medias on alternative websites. Something that rhymes with Cornhub. Just because there's like a lot of, there's been some investigations into the amount of sex trafficking involved in porn. And it's actually really fucked up how much of it is not clean. Yeah. So I don't know if it's the same thing can be applied to OnlyFans or not, or those types of sites, but I imagine not. And I would hope so, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Actually, they are at the end of the day just content creators,
Yeah.
and I think our perception of OnlyFans is very much skewed by the people who are successful in that on that site, and those people who are doing really well. I think there's the long tail where it's people who are just getting by, or just have a few subscribers, or not that many at all, not enough to support them full time. Exactly.
Yeah. And then also don't forget that OnlyFans got this mark on it that it's just porn. But the truth is that OnlyFans is also being used for anything that basically Patreon wouldn't allow. Things like, a lot of skin plus cosplay, right? Like something that Patreon doesn't allow anymore, I'm fairly certain. So people move to OnlyFans. Even though it's not pornographic, they have to use OnlyFans because it's the biggest platform.
Has OnlyFans ever been breached? Do you know?
Not from my memory. I cannot recall them being breached yet.
That's one. That's one of the things that I thought about this Trucker Sucker breach and the other site.
City Jerks.
You would have hoped City Jerks. Thanks, Mike. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I knew you'd have it to hand. You would think that people who have this type of sensitive information would have like an extra layer of security. I'm sure that OnlyFans is pretty much getting attacked like all the time. So I think they probably take better care of their data, like with medical records, for example. It's sort of embarrassing, sensitive data that you definitely don't want other people to know about, at least most of the time. And there's extra rules about it, so you have to have extra protections.
It sounds like you're giving them way too much credit.
I probably am. Yeah, let's say you would hope that, but it's obviously not the case, especially for small like PHPBB websites.
I mean,
like
8,000 users. This is like a guy running a server out of his
literally
apartment.
Well, sure. If it's $10, I don't know how much the subscription is, but I have a lifetime
there's
membership.
no way that it's paid. And if it is, that guy's making sort of a killing.
I mean, maybe some of them, but not all 8,000, certainly. I don't know what their business model is.
History.
Sure.
For real.
I'm not really trying to get that. I'm not trying to really hit that website, to be honest. From my ISP. So.
Oh my God, Mike. Okay. No, sorry. It's easy to.
Did you just find my profile? Is that?
I was going to say you're on the featured page. Okay. Basic membership is free. VIP upgrade is affordable. It's like it's a premium dating website.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Peter's not afraid.
Type thing. Yeah.
But if it's 10%, how much is premium? Did you look what the pricing model was?
No, I mean,
go ahead and plug your credit card info in just to make sure.
Join VIP membership. Okay. Doesn't say.
Oh,
just earn site credits.
Interesting.
Sorry, doesn't have the pricing there.
Well, they just lost one customer.
Live research.
Jesus, guys, come on, be more transparent about your pricing. I don't use. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Fun Friday show. Everybody have a good weekend. Join us on Discord. We've been having some really, really good, interesting conversations on Discord. What happened? Oh, somebody was using Bard to get information about Peter. That was a lot of fun. I think we'll talk about that on maybe next Wednesday or Thursday when we talk about AI again and how dangerous it is. AI. But also fun. So yeah, have a great weekend and we'll see everybody again on Monday.